Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. I'm Jade, and in today's video, we're going to continue working on our bee-themed castle that we started in the last video. So we're down here around our abandoned stronghold project, because down here we have the Haste 2 beacon set up. So we need to mine up a bunch of materials for today's video, mainly diorite, because diorite is what most of our castle is made out of. And like I said in the previous video, this castle is very fantasy-like, so we want to have a lot of tall towers reaching up to the sky and a lot of ornate detail in our build. We've got a whole lot of building to do in today's episode, so we're just going to go ahead and get started by working on another one of the towers that's going to be a main feature of our castle here. So since we got a lot of work to do, we're just going to jump right into a time lapse. We can kick back and listen to some medieval sounding music, and hopefully by the end of it we'll have a tower built. So let's go. Okay, so we've built up the second tower here in our bee-themed fantasy castle. And it's similar to the first one in color scheme, so we went with the same cobblestone, stone to andesite into diorite and then calcite up at the top. And then for the roof we used the same like honey gold looking palette up there. But it's a different shape than the other tower, so it's kind of like a diamond shape, which I think looks interesting from a distance. But up close it looks kind of weird. We did add like some walls in here for some definition. And then on the interior, there's nothing in here right now. But I've planned out where the floors are going to go, so where you see the spruce planks, there's going to be like a floor there. So this will be floor number 1 here, floor number 2, and then they've got a window on that floor, and then maybe a door on this side, and then floor number 3 up there to the roof. So nothing on the interior just yet, we'll get to that, but we can go into FreeCam to look at it from the outside. So on this side it's going to have 2 windows kind of staggered like this, and they'll probably be the same stained glass that we have over in the other tower. And I was even thinking about maybe adding like a balcony or a decorative balcony like sticking out in front of these windows. But yeah, this is the tower. I'm happy with the shape. I'm happy with the size. I think it'll be the second tallest tower here in our castle area. And I think maybe for like the history of our castle, maybe this building back here was one of the first ones that they built. So originally the castle might have just been this tower here with a wall around it, and then over time they've added more buildings, each one kind of more grand than the last. But this is just the first tower that we're going to build in today's episode. We have a lot of work that we need to do to, expand our castle here. So I think we're going to put another tower somewhere in this area, maybe like right around here. And here it is. We've got to move quickly in today's episode so we can get done with all of the building that we want to accomplish in today's video. So I went ahead real quickly and I added our third tower here to our castle. And it's similar to the other two in the coloring, but it's got its own shape to it. And I like how it's turned out. It's starting to come together with multiple angles of our fantasy castle here will be looking different everywhere we stand. And that's the goal in the end, where we have a bunch of towers here reaching up and pointing up to the sky. But this tower here, I don't have the interior yet. I don't know what we'll put in each of these buildings. I think by the time we finish this castle, there'll be a whole lot of interior space that we need to fill up. So we need a lot of ideas for rooms and stuff. But I think eventually we'll have a wall that comes from this tower over to this tower, and then it kind of wraps around. And the front of our castle will be over where we have our nether portal set up right now. And to the right of where I'm standing is going to be like a gatehouse. And then the wall will continue to wrap around over to the bank of the river over there. And then we'll have a bunch more towers in here on the inside. I think in the end, I would like all the towers to look a little bit different from one another, which I think would make sense, because this castle wouldn't have been built all at once. Maybe each lord of the castle would have added his own tower, and it would have been built up over generations of the same noble family that rules here. Maybe that large tower in the middle took multiple generations to complete. So I'm liking how the towers are looking, but I want to add something a little bit different to the castle next. I would like to add a bridge that comes across the river here. I don't know if a bridge would be a good idea defensively for the castle, but I think it will add to the fantasy look. If we have a large white bridge spanning across here made of diorite and have a bunch of arches in it. So that's what I want to do next. Right where we have that hole in the wall of that tower, I want a bridge to come out and cross the river kind of on a diagonal and then end up somewhere up on top of this hill over here. So the bridge will cross there, come over here, and then there'll be another tower on this side rising up. And when you're building a bridge, you do a lot of shifting. And one thing that I don't have in our world so far is Swift Sneak on any of my pants. So that's what I want to do in today's episode, is find some Swift Sneak. We have an ancient city right below our spawn that we found way back in episode 1 of the series. And I've just never been brave enough to go down there and try to loot it. So today we're going to try to go down there and see if we can't find a few Swift Sneak books, maybe even a Swift Sneak 3, that we can add to our pants, and then come back here to our castle and build a bridge while we're doing a lot of shifting across this river here. So that's the goal. Let's go down to the ancient city. Okay, so we're deep underground, directly below our spawn chunks. And this ancient city down here is a little bit larger than I originally thought. I kept trying to dig down, and I kept running into the ceiling of the ancient city, no matter where I dug down. So I actually had to do a lot of tunneling to find an area kind of down by the floor of the ancient city. And I've dug out this little hidey hole over here, so we have a little base of operations for us to do this raid. We've got some stuff in here just in case we die. I don't know if we will die. I've never taken on the ancient city before, so I don't know if it's for sure that we'll see the warden. I figure if we do see the warden, it'll probably kill us. And if that happens, we've got some backup gear here that we can use to run back in there and get any stuff that we have. So we've got the bed, and we've got some backup armor here that we can use. And then I've also gone in and turned up the brightness because it does get very dark in there, and I wanted to make sure that we can see things I'm not going to be placing any torches, but I've got some wool that I'll be placing. I want to try to be quiet. So we'll set our spawn, and then we're going to trade out our elytra for a chest piece. So maybe we can take an extra hit or two from the warden, just in case he spawns. But I'm hoping that he doesn't. I'm hoping we get in and we get out. Our goal is to come out of here with a Swift Sneak 3 book. I mean, I'll take any Swift Sneak book, but a Swift Sneak 3 would be the best. I don't know how many books spawn or what the probability is, but I'm just hoping that we get lucky. So we're going to take our first steps into the ancient city. And I've looked at the ancient city. I've glanced at it with the free cam mod, but I haven't looked at it in detail, so I don't know where any of the chests are or anything. But it's pretty large, so hopefully there's a lot of chests that have spawned in here. I'm going to do a lot of sneaking. I don't know how entertaining this is, but oh, got the advancement. It does look pretty cool in here. And I like how there's this lava running through it as well. Yeah, this must be like the ooh, I see a chest right over there. So I think I'm gonna use the first of our wool to get over there. We'll do a bridge. It would be crazy if this first chest had Swift Sneak 3 and then we could just leave. It'd be very nice. But it also might be a little anticlimactic if that was the case. So far, I think we're being pretty quiet. I don't think we've made any noise. But I don't know if the chest makes a noise when you open it. I think there's a strategy where you put down some wool around it to maybe dampen the sound a little bit. So I'm going to try that. And doesn't look like there's anything good. We got some glowberries, some echo shards, skulk sensor, bones, and torches. So we got to continue looking. No books in that one at all, unfortunately. There might be something over there. That structure looks promising, but we have to get over there first. I may not have brought enough wool with me, because I can see I'm going through this pretty fast. There's a lot of sensors over here, so I'm gonna wool across this stone part. I don't know what that is. It looks dangerous. Is that the Shrieker? I don't see any chest. I thought for sure there'd be a chest up here with all these candles and stuff. We're gonna continue on. I only brought like 2 or 3 stacks of wool, so hopefully we don't run out. But I'm using a lot of it. Already went through a stack already. Got a lot of candles. I thought for sure there'd be a chest over here. Oh, there is. There's one right over here. Alright. Swift Sneak is the goal. Dang it. Is this gonna block out? I want to see if this blocks out any noise. There's like a hole right there. One golden apple. And I think we got a strike against us for opening that chest just to get 1 golden apple, so that kind of sucks. We're gonna continue on over this direction, I think. They were nice to put a lot of wool down here already that you can jump on. I'm completely out already, though. Dang it. No more wool. I think there's a chest over there, so I'm gonna ender pearl. This might be dangerous. Oh, there's 2 right here. Nice. Okay, one of these has to have at least 1 book in it. So far, we haven't seen any books at all. So I'm gonna sneak my way over here. Looking for Swift Sneak. We got some books, channeling and respiration 3. Not what we wanted, but we'll take all these glowberries too. I don't have too many of those in the world. I think you can just bone meal them though. We got a music disc and candles, torches, regen 2 potions. Might use those later, I don't know, who knows. I'm just gonna take everything until I run out of inventory space. I don't think those gave us any strikes. Or maybe they did and I just didn't notice. But there's no darkness yet. So that's good. Some diamonds. Diamonds aren't really worth it anymore. Oh, there's a chest over here. There's a book in here. Swift Sneak 3, let's go! Alright. So we have completed our mission and we didn't summon a warden. So, why there's a lot of hoes in here. That's a really good hoe. Alright. The question is now, do we just leave? There's another chest over there. Could get a backup Swift Sneak. Might be getting greedy now, because I just set off something there. I think that was a feather falling. Probably should be trying to get out of here now. Oh dear. Wow, it's dark. Pitch black. Where's the door? Was it over here? This is pretty intense now. Does that mean that we summoned the guy? Was he around? I don't know. Was he like right next to us and we just couldn't see him? I don't know if I want to go back in. I could dig my way out. Well, yeah, I could dig my way out. But I think that would take a very long time. So I'm gonna look around for our hidey hole, which I've already lost. And then escape that way. If we see any chests along the way, though, maybe we can get another Swift Sneak. Ooh, like this one over here. This might summon another guy, though. Yeah, that looks dangerous. We're doing it. Swift Sneak 2. 2 enchanted golden apples? This is a crazy chest. I'm going to leave that, probably, in the bones. No, we'll take it. Don't need any of that. Don't need any Curse of Binding or Curse of Vanishing. Okay. I'm happy. I've got a Swift Sneak 2 and a Swift Sneak 3. So I can leave now. I just need to find how to get out. There's another chest right behind this one. I don't see any of the Shriekers over here. Man, 4 enchanted golden apples so far. I don't know if we'll ever use them, but I thought they were pretty rare. Yeah, when I first came in here, I was like sneaking, shifting all over the place, and now I'm just kind of running. Because I figure if the warden does spawn and try to chase us, we can Ender Pearl to get away from him. More chest over here. I think we've been in this area, though. Yeah, we've been here. Somewhere. I'm just following the... Oh, there we go. Okay, I just followed the wall and all the way around until I found our hidey hole. And we've made it. And we got a lot of loot. So let's go get this Swift Sneak 3 put onto our pants. And that was a successful raid on the ancient city. And now we can put the Swift Sneak 3 onto our pants. So we've got our pants, we've got our Swift Sneak. We can put them together and it's going to cost us 13 levels. That's good. It cost us the anvil too. But we can put these on and now we can shift and move a little bit faster. I'm going to use that over at our castle build. So we're going to jump into another time lapse here. We're going to try to build up a bridge connecting our tower to another tower on the other side of the river. So let's do that right now. So we finished up the bridge, and I think it looks good. I think it adds to the fantasy element of our castle. So we've got the tall towers with the pointy roofs, and now we've got the long white bridge stretching across the river. I did notice while I was building the bridge that at some point I turned off the clouds in our world. I think I was trying to get a thumbnail and I turned them off, but then I never turned them back on, so I don't know how long they've been missing. But I noticed the sky was looking a little plain, so we've got the clouds back in our world now. This is the gatehouse that protects the bridge, so they've got a small drawbridge across connecting to these stairs. And I think in the future we'll have a garden over here of a bunch of different flowers, and there'll be a path leading up the side of the hill coming up to these stairs here. But we can go into the gatehouse now, and I have put some floors in here and some stairs, but I haven't done any interior work, like put any decorations in here. There's not much room inside of the gatehouse itself. We can come up here to this top level, and then you can look down onto the entrance. So the defenders can be up here in case anyone was ever trying to come and take this gatehouse. They could be shooting down with arrows, and there's arrow slits on both sides as well. But if you come through the gatehouse itself, you go on to the bridge. And I really like how the bridge turned out from a distance. It doesn't look that interesting here on the inside. I added honeycomb blocks for the ceiling because I thought that looked cool. But I was really happy with the shape of the bridge overall. So I went with like a curved or an arch on the bottom just slightly. And then on the top up here, all this is just red sandstone stairs and slabs, which is very expensive. But the windows themselves, they also kind of arch. Every third one, or every fourth one, goes up a little bit. And then the three in the middle here are the highest. So I was really happy with how the bridge looks from all the angles on the outside. And then it connects over here into this tower. And I'm probably going to work on the interiors of this castle between episodes, and then I'll show them off at the start of a video. But yeah, that's the castle bridge. This took a whole lot of diorite, but I think it was worth it. But it's that time of the video where we're going to go over the comment of the day. So in the last episode, I asked you guys what we should name this castle. And I've asked you what we should name a few things in the world so far, and you've always come through, and you've come through again. Castle name suggestion, the Apiary. So I thought this was a great name for the castle. It sounds regal, and it's a cool vocabulary word that I've probably never used before in my life. It's a place where bees are kept, a collection of beehives. So it perfectly sums up our castle here. And I think it's a great name, so thank you for the comment. But that's going to do it for today's episode. We've added 2 towers to our castle. We've added a nice fantasy looking bridge. And I think I want to go into designing what the walls of our castle are going to look like. So we'll probably do that coming up here soon. But I have a detour that I want to take in the next episode, so make sure y'all check that one out. Gonna go off somewhere else and maybe do like a one-off project. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the comments, all the feedback. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.